But I was wondering, like, what everybody, since you are coming to the end and maybe starting to reflect, if you did have a favorite scene from over the years for your character, what would it be?
Go down the line.
Me first?
Yeah.
It could be random.
Oh, shitballs. Okay, well, hold on. As I think about my favorite scene, I'll say that this show, for some reason, lets me tick off all my bucket lists. So, like, I got to be a hologram, which was really exciting, because I'm a huge sci-fi fan myself. I grew up reading sci-fi, so I've always wanted to be a hologram. I always wanted to, like, crawl through a grate. That happened. There's a bunch of those, but my favorite scene, this is so stressful. I'm gonna get emotional. Guys, this is the most emotional time for us, because the show is wrapping, so we're all like, this is peak emotion. Okay, my favorite scene. I can't answer this question. This is too intense.
I just can't get over that your bucket list included hologram and crawling through the grate.
I want, like, to run from, like, a burning building, or to try and kill someone and they shoot you and be like, ugh, not on this show, thank you.
I think I can probably speak for both of us. Probably. Just a couple episodes ago, when we were all trapped and Lucy was going to kill us because she didn't know who we were and we were doing all the fun voices. We got to do everybody's voices. That was very fun, but it was my favorite because we got to hear Thom sing. That was the bomb. And then we wrapped, and then I quit, and I was like, it's not getting any better than that. He's not singing every episode. I don't want to be on this damn show. I just bring one to my trailer after every episode.
I've got a feeling. It's still here.
I was gonna say I figured out what it was as Atticus was talking. Was so on the?
I thought I spoke for both of us, but I guess I was wrong.
No, I have a scene for both of us though. So on the show, obviously, I get to do a lot of science, which is so much fun, and I get to do a lot of like, this is what's happening in the world. Let me explain what this is and that is and this is, and it's really exciting. But me and Atticus had our relationship conversation. Was a lot of fun because not a lot of time, as actors with this show. The world is moving so fast. You don't always have time to like improv with someone because you have to like talk about space and plasma and the green and all this stuff, which is great, which is amazing. But the first scene that we had the relationship talk, both Atticus and I do a lot of comedy jobs as well, so we like to improv, and we just started riffing, and it went on and on and on. And we're like, they're not going to use any of this, and that was probably one of my favorite scenes to shoot.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
We just got to riff.
I gotta say the word shenanigans. That's on my
got to be awkward? That was on your bucket list? Nice.
Awkwardness on the bucket list. It's hard, the thing is, I'm a stage animal. That's sort of where a lot of my career has been, on stage. And so doing film and TV the last few years has been amazing and fantastic. Part of that thanks to Jason Knight, who I've known for many years. When he called my agent and said, I have a part for Thom. I was like, yeah, sure, show me the contract. And cut to, like 2 weeks later, I was like, and signed, sealed, delivered, you're on this TV show. But what's been wonderful is that all the way along, because the adventures have been abundant and constant, each new thing that happens is a new episode, because I get to stab someone's hand. That was amazing. I get to, we get married. In the same episode where we got married, I got to, for the first time, be running through a forest with shots being fired and real explosions, like fire bombs going off behind us. I'm like, this is awesome! This is so cool! I'm the most famous person I know right now. It's like I'm in a blockbuster suddenly, in a blockbuster movie. So that was amazing and so exciting. But also what's great for me is that each new thing that happens with the Warlord thing, which was amazing, each new thing is my new favorite thing. And what happens is in my head as a little sort of self-producing machine, I keep thinking of how the audience is going to see something, and that delights me. So each new thing coming up that I know that you're going to see and go, oh my God, I can't wait for you to see it. And so I know that my new thing is going to be at the top of season 5. There's some stuff happening.
Careful,
guys. I was not giving it away, but it's like when we started filming some of it, the director actually, in front of the crew and everything, said, I have to tell you that the network has sent us a message saying they're so excited about this, they've lost their mind.
Yeah.
Just echoing what Kelly said, is just like, there's so much amazing stuff we get to do. It's really hard to pick, because it's amazing and a blessing. But also what Tommy was saying about the episode where we got married and season 3 finale, just that day was amazing. A lot of stuff blowing up. But the scene where I'm eating the meat, the canned meat, and saying I've never been out of Old Town, and here I'm on Leith with a bunch of warlords fighting a war. I can't remember what I said, but that, I mean, aside from a great scene between Tommy and I, it was very easy to express for myself too. Being out of this, like I said earlier, about just always kind of being the bad guy, and to be able to express emotion and be in this amazing relationship. It was really sweet, and it was really just amazing. Just that is the top, top 5 definitely up there. But yeah, just awesome.
You guys did a great job in that scene.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to echo what Kelly said. The art. No, but it's true. Our favorite scenes are the ones we're about to shoot. I guarantee you, because that's a credit to the writing, that it has gotten better. The show's gotten better and better and better. It's bizarre. So yes, having said that, the ones that I can talk about, my favorite was, when I got killed at the end of season 2. And I thought that was it, and I thought it was the right thing, the right narrative thing to do. And I was very honored by the way they did it. It was beautiful, actually. But I was a bit miffed because there was someone more evil and more powerful than Klein in the universe, and I kept hearing tell of this lady. And I said to Michelle, I said, I don't know who you're going to get to play this, but she better be the best damned actress in Canada. And then season 4 comes, and guess who's playing the lady? And so I walked around saying I was the best damned actress in Canada after 404. But that, so that was a brief moment of triumph. Yeah, so that was probably my favorite scene so far. It's just because it was so funny I said that to her, and then she put the lady in my mouth. It was perfect.
My answer is all of them. All the scenes that I was in. I having been there from like day one, literally like season 1. At first, I think after I got cast, I think most of the producing team thought I was a stunt actor, or like Tom. I come from the theater, and but I was like, no, I'm an actor who can do fights and stuff, because I've studied martial arts for a long time, and it was a pure joy to be able to utilize that skill set for the show, like a lot of knife fights and actual stunt work and kicking and all that kind of stuff. So that's been a blessing. But to answer the question, just all of them, even the scenes that were cut are my favorites. So all of them. I love this show so much, and I love these people so much, and this is really, truly a one-of-a-kind blessing. The reason why I say that, actually, it's I gotta tell you something, guys, because as a visible minority actor, I hate that term. When I tell people I'm an actor, I just say I'm an actor. But in the industry, it's been a long and hard road to get here. This is my 21st year of acting, and it has been limited, but to be able to just be free and delve into what I can do, and the humor, the fights, and the drama, and all it's just a well-packaged gift. So I'm very grateful to creator Michelle and the showrunner, and Adam, our current showrunner, and my cast members and crew. They're just amazing people. I wish you could come and spend a day with them. You would go home high. My wife, whenever I come home from shooting, she tells me, she can tell, you had a great day, I'm like, yeah, every time I go to Killjoys set, I just come home so relaxed and happy and content and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, thank you, and also you guys for supporting us. Love you.
I would say, actually, curiously enough, the more I do it, the more I remember the first scene I shot for the series, because it was a single scene, as Michelle said, in the pilot, and then they were already a little into shooting on the season when they decided to write that character in, and so I knew I wasn't going to come back for several, half a dozen episodes or something like that. But there's something you never forget as an actor, no matter how long you've been on the circuit, and you kind of know a lot of other people like Rob and other people from working together on different series. But there's that interesting chemical thing that goes on when, as an actor, you come in, and whether it's the DP or the director or the producers or whoever's around the monitors, just getting a sense of what you think the character is. Because they went and wrote it, and they have an idea what they think the character is. But here's this new guy, whatever, what's he think the character is? And there's an interesting thing you can never kind of have a second time, is that just that feeling of, okay, so this is where everything this is the commonalities of what we think the character is, what you think the character is. And then we all kind of sit there and go, oh, that's interesting. We can use that. So that's an interesting, process to be a part of. And obviously you don't get it if you're just in a single episode of some series and you do the best job you can, but there's no arc. There's no future for that guy. He just gets taken to jail or shot in the head. Mostly, that's what I do. But that is an interesting, that first moment where you're kind of agreeing who you all think this guy is. And obviously that develops, but you never quite have that tabula rasa again.
The quickest way for me to answer that is occasionally when you're writing, there's messages that on an unconscious but very deep to your marrow level, messages you want to put out to the audience. There's been a few scenes when I've been able to do that. One of them was the scene after Gavin and Dutch kicked each other's asses, and she said, I appreciate your pain, but we need to know that doesn't mean I have to be your shoulder and say I have no pain. And then the other one was when John comforted Dutch. There's a lot of shoulders and comforting going on in these scenes, but the one where he said that it's okay to love someone and hate them and miss them, and how complicated all of that is. And I think that Adam and I and the writing staff have come to appreciate that story, the stories of agency and consent and love and pain, what we owe each other, how we harm each other, really is, we're using this fantastic world, we're using this sassy ship, but really we're about pain in families. And I think any scene where we get to dig into that has been a favorite of mine.
All right, and so I was just thinking, as everyone, thanks for everyone talking, so it gave me a chance to think about it. And it occurred to me that my favorite scene is actually one I don't think anybody ever saw, at least the way it was originally written. But way back when I first read the pilot that Michelle wrote, and I was sitting in a wings restaurant in Whitby, my fingers all dirty, and I'm reading a scene where Johnny and Dav have found each other in the middle of a fight ring. And so you all remember that from the pilot, but there was this great exchange where Dav looks at Johnny, knowing what he has to do to him, and says, just, Johnny, I want you to know I love you, and then starts to beat the living shit out of him. And so as written, it was Johnny scrambling to get out of the ring, screaming, stop loving me, stop loving me. And I started laughing so loud, and there's just this moment, if you've ever been lucky enough to be on a show, where I just fell in love with this writer and with this moment and these characters in this show, and immediately, of course, I got scared because I didn't know if I was going to get the job. But that for me was the absolute moment, and anytime I ever feel lost, as I often do on this show, I think about that scene and saying that is the heart of what this show is.
It's funny that you've asked. I'm glad you have asked that actually, because I constantly get people that mention this to me and about the show, that they're so thrilled with the fact that it's a show that celebrates diversity in every possible way. It's physical diversity, racial diversity, sexual diversity, and celebrates all of that. And Michelle said to me early on, I think in the first season, one day we were first meeting, I think, she said, in her world, because she gets to create it, we've gotten past that bullshit. And we actually are on to other things that are interesting. And, you know, there's class issues, that sort of thing, and there's people who have reasons to sell money or greed, other human things. But the things that we should have gotten past already, we've gotten past. And what she's created that aren't about those other stupid things is so interesting, and she never has to rely on what is the obvious, what is the mindless, and what is the already past its due date. And so it's thrilling to be part of that, and seeing I have many friends who've been on the show, and they're so thrilled that they get to be on the show, and they're people of color and women and different sizes and shapes, and everyone gets celebrated, and that's been it's been a joy. It happens rarely, I think, in any genre, and I certainly think in sci-fi it's a genre that can allow that. But that doesn't mean that everyone actually walks the talk. And Michelle Lovretta has from day one, and when I got the show, what's this lost girl thing? I should watch that. What's that about? And I saw on that show, I thought, oh, this woman she's in everything. Like everyone gets a place at the table. And isn't that a world you want to be in? And we've been lucky enough to be in that world for 5 seasons, and it's been one of the great joys of my career.